items that I'm sharing one at a time here. It's what's gonna help them to go to a thriving life, right? So in a piece of paper, one of them wrote financial support. So in my interpretation here is how this person can actually improve their financial stability. What can they do, right? We had an amazing conversation in the group, but I'm gonna share just a little bit with you guys, because I think that all of us have gone through financial difficulties in our lives. I know I have, you know, especially in the last 6 years. And it's always great to have some kind of, you know, external voice sometimes. And my sharing today is going to come from, you know, personal experience, and also is going to come from coaching that I've received, you know, being coached by other business owners, business coaches. So now let me just start over here saying that, you know, one of the first things, if you've ever been coached in the area, okay, in business or even your finances, you know, with a personal coach, somebody might ask, you know, or might drive into your mindset. Do you have a scarcity mindset? Do you have an abundant mindset? This has a tremendous impact, you know, how the person actually manages his or her finance. I'm just going to say her finances, okay? You know, and this is something that you may not be aware of it. Do you have any issues, you know, with this mindset about money? Most people think, no, I don't. You know, the first answer is no, because I want more money. Reality is sometimes we are not in fully understanding how this problem could exist, because the way that we go about to spend the money to a certain degree, how much efforts are we putting to get the money, and how we're spending. And unfortunately too, you know, a lot of things comes from our background. You know, what the things that were kids, what were parents or our neighbors, our family were talking about the money. And a lot of times, you know, I know that I grew up in kind of a scarcity mindset, right? So money was always an issue inside the house. My mom worked, always complained about money, and when we had it, it was like, okay, we have it, and let's do something with it. So there is no savings, there is nothing related to that. So there is always a scarcity mindset. So I started working very young in my life. Why? Because I think part of it is because I wanted independence. So at 12 years of age, I start, you know, making money to pay for my first bicycle. And anyway, the story goes on, and you know, practically I've been working all my life, and I love working. But you know, how does that go about, you know, having a positive mindset about money? So first is not to say that this is the strategy, but I would like you to reflect, if you're having financial difficulties and you have had for a long time, think about your mindset about money. And one good exercise would be to kind of go back, take a notepad and a pen, all right? And do this with a pen and paper in hand. And, you know, put an hour, maybe 30 minutes to an hour aside, and go back and say, okay, how did I grow up with the vision of money? Did I have a lot of money? What did the parents say about money? How do you, as you can remember, related to money? From your young childhood all the way to your adulthood, right? But go deep, go really deep, you know. Try your best to remember the conversations around it. So that's number one. We got to keep that in mind. Number two is, you know, another strategy that comes from coaches in the business, right? Hustle. I want to call it a strategic hustle. So part of my suggestion and part of the discussion and the group was, you know what are you good at? All right, so the strategic hustle comes with a couple angles. One is you want to, you know, use your time wisely, right? Because if you already have a 9-to-5 or whatever, you know, 8 to 7 job, you know, and you need to have a boost to pay some of the debt, you know, whatever it is that's going on, that is creating this negative cloud in your life that is not allowing you to thrive because of money related. And you got to be thinking of, okay, I have this many hours, right? Either it's on our weekdays or weekends, whatever that is. So How you want to utilize that time to hustle has to be strategic, meaning that what am I good at, what I like to do, and will this hustle fit my ambitions, right? So again, I would recommend you get a piece of paper and pen and start writing those things down, right? And so then with those things in mind, then you can start looking for your hustle job, right? Or maybe one first step to get into that hustle job is to be closer to people who are doing what you inspire to do, what things that you like or enjoy, that you might not be doing more, that you not be doing now, but actually can lead you to make some money. If it is urgent, hey, hustle then without the strategy, but make sure that you like something about it. So you may or may not know this about me, but you know, I used to make six figures, had a very comfortable life in my finance career. And, you know, I left all that behind, took a leap of faith to follow my passion to change the lives and the quality of lives of individuals after I changed mine, you know, and that is from a health perspective. And that led to, you know, many significant changes once I made that decision to leave corporate. Well, that also imposed, you know, some financial constraints on my part. And why does that happen? Well, to be totally honest and transparent with you, first I invested a tremendous amount of money into additional training that I was not expecting. So, and as a nutrition endocrinology practitioner, there was a lot of money involved in that and several other trainings that I did. Now, what led me to the financial constraint was mostly me thinking that I was not enough, right? So this is part of the mindset game that I suggest you to also think about it. I personally, in my business, when I started spending money not only on training regarding to the career, you know, additional training after I started as a coach, but also into other areas in marketing and things like that, very expensive, you know, investments that honestly, some of this investment I didn't use at all. Now, why did it get out of hand is because I decided at some point to say, you know, forget about it. I have to do this. And I shovel my budget to the side. Extremely irresponsible, right? I'm fully aware. I take full responsibility for it. And I don't encourage you to do that, okay? I don't encourage you to do that. So, I'm living proof of what I'm speaking over here and sharing with you some of these strategies. So what did I decide to do? You know, got to a point that became like a big cloud, a stress cloud, financial, because I've never been in a situation of having this, that, you know, and so on. So I decided to hustle myself, right? One of the coaching that I did, that I spent quite a bit of money to, thousands and thousands of dollars, you know, well, I'm not going to say the name of it. It was related to business and marketing coaching. And I don't regret spending the money, but I didn't fully utilize of it because, again, I was doing too many things at the same time and lacking focus, okay? And nothing is going to go or grow in that way. But anyway, that contributed to my financial, you know, stress too. And but one of the first things in that training goals is about what I just mentioned, is the mindset about money that I mentioned earlier, you know, and trying to kind of work that around, right? Two is, you know, hustle. This business owner who is a millionaire talking about this and looking back into her career, how she started, right? Hustle. She starts saying multiple things, how she hustled to make money and how to not go back to her corporate job, you know. So that was an inspiration to me. And then I was inspired by a book as well, who a very successful writer mentioned, until this big gig came on and it started, I hustled. I had side jobs. I was a writer with 3 published books already, but I was hustling. I was a waitress, I was a bartender, I was this and that and that and that. And then to me, like, okay, Maria, I don't think you're hustling enough. right? So get yourself together. So I decided to look for something that would allow me to still be mobile, that would allow me to still be engaged with folks and put some cash in my pocket. So strategic hustle is the message. So I hope this helps you a little bit. There is a lot more to financial, stability, but these items, I think that they are fundamental in my perspective. Mindset, where you fit in, go back to the homework, right? See where that plays a role in your adulthood, in your state today. Also, think about how you have changed, over the years. Are you in the still scarcity mindset or abundant mindset? And it's hard to get out of the scarcity mindset when we've been living for so long. So importance here is to the environment that we're in. So maybe that is one of the steps that you can take, right, to get around the people who are, an abundant mindset, to read books about an abundant mindset that can slowly, change your mindset and work at it. And in the meantime, just like a little patch, is to get that hustle, strategic hustle. Think about what you like. Think about these steps that you can take, tiny, but they can, that will get you closer to something that maybe can change your career entirely. Who knows? But if you have any questions whatsoever about all this, I would love to hear your questions and comments. If you have, if you'd like to reach me, bfabbu.com or 770-835-5490. And if you are, or your organization that you work at, or teams, your team at your office are looking for a health and wellness and holistic coach that can bring, not only from a health perspective and fitness, but also from a corporate perspective, sign me up over here, reach out, and we can talk about it. There's multiple things that I can help organizations as well. So again, have a wonderful night, and I'll see you soon to keep all of our Support to Thrive Q&A series. Have a good night. Bye-bye.